So I get this question a lot. Do you need corporate bylaws for a corporation? So when you form a corporation, you form it with the Secretary of State by filing the Articles of Organization. You do not need a corporate bylaws. I'm going to share with you guys a corporate bylaws that I have, a template that I have for sale for you guys down below, in the links down below, but you do not need it. Is it legally binding? Yes, it's legally binding among the corporation and its members. And usually what it does is it acts as a governing instrument that basically delineates the powers of the corporation in the sense of how many directors can they have, when are the meetings, what are the notices of the meetings, right? So for example, here, this one in the notice section says no notice need be given to any annual or regular meeting of the board. Notice of special meetings of the board shall be given by service upon each director in person or by mailing. So this basically means, look, they can set a date for the annual meeting of the board of directors, and they don't have to tell you after they set the date. Once they know the date, you're responsible for it. If they're going to have a special meeting, they got to tell you by service, meaning they got to either, serve you, or in person or by mailing. So basically means, let's say they had a special meeting and they didn't serve you, they didn't give it to you in person, or they didn't send it to your post office, and then they made a decision like, we're going to fire this guy, or we're going to hire this guy, or we're going to, take out a huge loan. That meeting would be null and void, and it would go against the bylaws, in which case it would be illegal for that corporation or those board of members to do that. So do you need a corporate bylaw to be filed with the Secretary of State? No. All you need is the Articles of Organization to be formed with the state, or Articles of Incorporation in a corporation sense. Articles of Incorporation are Articles of Organization for an LLC. And an LLC, this is called an operating agreement. It's not called the bylaws. So incorporation is called bylaws. But you don't absolutely need them. But if you don't have them, it reverts back to any state or federal laws that are in play. So, if the state law says you need a majority of people at the meeting to make any decisions, and then you only had, 3 people at the meeting out of 7 to make a decision, then your decision is void, right? And the other people can come at it. So a quorum, you can decide here, like, for example, a quorum basically meaning how many people need to be present, right? So here in this template says a quorum, any meeting of the board, a majority of directors then in office shall be necessary to constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. So for example, if you had 7 board members, a quorum would be 4, right? You need a majority of them, but you can change this and you can say, we only need 1/3 of board members. So some people with big boards, if you have a board of 17 members, for some reason, you can say, well, we only need 7 members to be there to make a quorum to conduct any transaction of business, right? So again, you don't need the corporate bylaws. They're not a legal necessity, but they are in some cases, right? So people forming nonprofits in America, you need a corporate bylaws. If you're going public, you're going to need corporate bylaws. For the most part, it's a good idea to have corporate bylaws for a corporation or an operating agreement for an LLC, but it's not legally necessary in most states. But you definitely want to have one. So is this a legally binding document? Is the other thing I get all the time. Yes, it's a legally binding document. So at the end, you'll see the signatures. But once it's signed and dated by the initial members of the board of directors, then it becomes a legally binding document. Then if you go against anything you put in this document, basically it's either void or you have a cause of action where you can sue against. So I have this corporate bylaws template for sale on servitude.com. I'll put the link below. If you guys have any other questions about corporate bylaws, just put them in the comment section and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If you need one developed, just hit me up at the links below, and I'll be happy to help you guys. I hope you guys are great. Hope you guys are rocking. My name is Nick. Went to business school, went to law school. This is what I do for a living. And if you need help, I hope I can help.